Hi, I'm Tony. You're in Pop-Pop's workshop. This is my prototype flattening sled. I didn't want to invest in, with the current prices, a whole piece of plywood or anything. So what I've got here is the base is MDF with a little bit of framing around it. This was a packaging for a sign that came to a company my wife works for. They were going to just throw it out. She asked if she could have it, and she brought it home to me. So I made that the base. It's very stable. I can lay it here on the bed. I don't mind screwing down some guides to hold everything in place on it. It's disposable. I had to finish off the sides with a full rail because it just on the corners with some 2x4. So I'll put that on there, put some paste wax on it, so as you can see it slides really nice, even across there with a bunch of dust on there from this project. But this was just a little scrap of plywood, cut out a base, cut a slot in it, made it as wide, maybe just a hair wider than my router base, so it would have room to maneuver and wouldn't get pinched in there if things, I live in Iowa, humidity makes things swell, so I want to make sure that it doesn't create a problem for me. So we did that, flattened this larger cutting board. Now it's ready to do a little finish sanding, cut it to final size, and butter it up. So that'll be done and dusted. But it broke out the old Ryobi router. Found out that I didn't really have the plunge depth I needed to utilize this fully, but I had some leftover paneling from another project. And a couple layers of that, as I built them up each pass, were perfectly fine to get a nice consistent depth on this and a good flat surface. So it's not pretty, but it works. So in this day and age, I'll take what I can get. And thanks, shout out to Isotunes for keeping me sane and with all the router noise, because it was pretty noisy. I forgot to put them in right away. But also was listening to a podcast. I know some guys don't like to listen to music or things when they work, but I find a podcast really kind of relaxes me as I got to go through pass after pass after pass. So if you're into that, take a look. I think it was the We Built the Thing, Drew Fisher and his buddies. So shout out to Drew. Great podcast. So if you need a couple scraps, find yourself a nice piece of MDF to make a nice flat base out of, and you've got yourself a flattening sled. So thanks for watching. I don't take it for granted that you did watch, and I appreciate that. And as always, remember, you can do this.